Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Police Accountability Show. And remember, when you watch the Police Accountability Show, you agree to being offended, as well as nothing you see on the Police Accountability Show constitutes legal advice. If you have a legal problem, please reach out to a local lawyer for your local laws. And welcome, everyone, and welcome to the Police Accountability Show. I'm your host, Chad Christophers, and today our topic is reviewing and rating the police. Should the police be rated and reviewed? And I believe the answer is yes. I found this great thing online. Have your say. Tell us what you think about the performance of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. Now, I have never seen one of these surveys in the area I live in, Toronto, Canada. And I haven't seen very many. When I was searching this online, this is the only one that came up in many hits because I do research on the subjects. I find images to use for the subjects I talk to, and there was almost nowhere that I could see that had a survey for the police. And this is something that's very important in our community, that we need to have the surveys. Now, I've been working with the public, doing sales, for almost 30 years or over 30 years. I don't keep that good a track, but mostly because I don't want to. But the point is that everyone that interacts with the public should be able to be reviewed. And why? It's for accountability, right? When I deal with the public every day, I have problems with people. People don't like the prices. Right? That's the biggest problem I've had over the years. And I've had generated complaints. I've had people complain about me because they don't feel I'm giving them enough discount. And they'll even say I'm being rude about them. So then you come back to the police. And that's been a real problem with listening to people complaining about police service, is the fact that most of the people that come in contact with the police are people that the police are busting or arresting or enforcing the law. So that gets them angry at the police already, and then it becomes incredibly difficult to sort out who's just trying to get themselves out of trouble and who actually received bad service. And that's where these body cams are indispensable, because we can now see how the cops are doing themselves, right? And, at every workplace I've worked at, they now, especially nowadays, they have reviews, they have ratings. You can see what customers think of the place and their service, right? And why should the police or any part of the government not be exactly the same? We are supposed to be in elected democracy for the places that are, and the whole definition of democracy is to hold our leaders accountable. Just the ability to do that is the backbone of democracy. So being able to have reviews of our community leaders, the police, would be very important for all of us, so we can all see what they're doing. So I will grant that there would be bias in a lot of these people's opinions because they're being busted. And I do think that that should be part of the person's reviews. But we need more reviews from people who are interacting with the police, who have experiences with them, who aren't being busted, whether it good or bad, right? People are that unreasonable. And I would like to believe that your average person, when they're getting busted and they know they're doing something wrong, that they're not going to lie and make up a story that the police did something wrong to get themselves out of trouble, right? It's not the kind of people that we really want or need, right? We need accountable people. The police are out there holding everyone accountable for their actions, enforcing laws. Well, that's the duty of everyone in a democracy, is to hold our leaders accountable. It is the point of democracy. It is the definition of police accountability. They are community leaders, right? So we should be able to review them, and it should say up there whether or not the person should be busted. We should have the ability to review them, to have a public review, to say they're doing good, to say they're doing bad. Because without feedback, how do the police know themselves? How? How do they know whether or not people think they're doing a good job? Are they doing a good job? Right? Just their police bosses telling them is one thing, but I believe that they should be able to arrest someone and still do their jobs professionally enough to get a half-decent review. I'm mad about being busted for DUI, but honestly, the officer did a good job. I do believe that there's a lot of reasonable people out there that will still give reasonable, honest reviews, right? People may not want to, but we need to have that there, just like with everyone else, so that they can be held accountable to the people that they serve, right? They have their rights, we have our rights, and we need to work together better, right? To make the police more effective in our communities, to save us time and money. The police have a hard job, and we as people do need to support them, but they critique us, they hold us responsible, and we need to be able to hold them responsible. They are community leaders. So what do you think? Do you think we should be able to rate the police? Do you think that we should receive a survey card? And are the police obligated to give a survey card at every single interaction that we can fill out if we feel we've been unfairly treated, if the police haven't done their job correctly, whatever it may be? That could be an answer, right? Do we see this? I haven't seen an example of it, but I think it would be fantastic. But what do you think? Tell me in the comments. Do you think that we should be able to review every single police interaction? Should the police be obligated to give us their name and badge number at every single interaction in the way of their card or other information? And as well, should we have the ability to review? And I believe we should, right? And we as people should be able to read these reviews and have an understanding of the police's job, and that this is difficult. Because with a greater understanding of all of us, the police can do better, they can be more effective. Like, we spend a lot of money on policing, and they get jammed up a lot with nonsense, right? So let's try to cut this out. Let's also try to get better officers and officers that are trying harder to do their jobs. And how they can do that is incentive for good reviews from the public. It'd be incredibly difficult to do, don't get me wrong, but I have a hard time getting positive reviews at the sales jobs I do, right? At every single job out there nowadays, every single business out there, they have reviews, and the police should be no different. So tell me what you think in the comments. My name is Chad Christophers, and this is Police Accountability. Don't work too hard.